Good morning. Let's get going. What is it? Is this today Monday? Monday. Happy Monday, everyone. Good morning, OBS. Doing some updates. Over Starlink. And I'm also compiling Rust Analyzer. So when that's done, we'll get going. Hope you had a good weekend. Took some time and thought about what I should have been doing yesterday instead of trying to force that partial thing into the mix. And well, I should have been just creating an iterator for the partial wrapper. For creating an iterator that could return a portion of a token, and that wrapped the other pieces. Wow, I wonder how much stuff was there to install on this. Seemed like quite a bit. Python. Oh, here's a list. Yeah, I hardly ever upgrade these things. All right, X task almost done. Did I create a networking library for my game or use a pre-existing one? I created my own. It's essentially, well, two things. I'm using CBOR as a format, but in some cases I'm not using tagging. I think in many cases I'm not using tagging, because I expect that the server and the client will have to be in sync. Right? If you don't have the right version of the client, then you can't connect to the server. Now, for the other parts of it, I really wanted to have something that had back pressure. Right? So if the server can't take on more data, more instructions from the clients, then they shouldn't be able to send more data to the clients. And I would prefer that the network buffers on the server fill up and start to reject packets. Instead of crashing the server, let the server work through what it can, and just kind of go from there. So I created a couple of crates. Let's see, where are they? First, I created Stream Multiplexer, which was a lot of fun. However, Stream Multiplexer has become two other things, which is, I think I just call it Legacy Net. Then we'll get to the CBOR question. No. And this basically has two pieces. Has, oh, I didn't mean for that to be. There. Oh, I do need the tilde, right? No, that's not a tilde. That's a tilde. One is Xenocron. But yeah, we've got a multiplexer and packeteer. And Stream Multiplexer in this case, I think it needs to be upgraded again. But we're looking at netcode.io, but interested if I have something more rusty. I'm not familiar with netcode.io. Based on UDP, yeah, I was actually using TCP. zombie clients, man in the middle, DDoS. Sounds interesting. I mean, some of these things I have the server actually implement. So zombie clients. And then I'm using basically TCP for my stuff, which doesn't really help for man in the middle, but I could toss TLS on there, and that would. Yeah, encrypted and signed packets. That's basically how you get rid of man in the middle. DDoS amplification. That's interesting. I was kind of mitigating this through having categories of streams. Oh, nice. Let's take a look at that. So my server, I also have like idle time, things like that, where I need to check to see if somebody's done anything worthwhile. Right? Are they just sitting there sending trash packets? Let's see what's going on here. Server client games with simple setup, but highly configurable. Built on top of UDP, it's designed for speed in mind, useful for games with fast gameplay such as FPS. Nice. Oh, you've got a demo. I think I saw you working on this. I told it to go. Why didn't it go? Oh, it's a demo code base. Gotcha. What's in the to-do? Oh, nice. Delta State, yes. Final Frontier. Oh, very cool. So there's lots of possibilities. I use CBOR because it makes numbers smaller on the wire. It represents strings efficiently, lists, maps, not a lot of overhead. What's the license on ReNet or CBOR? I think CBOR is fairly open. Let's take a peek at the license here. Oh, no license. Dun dun dun. Well, that could be a roadmap v0.1 item license. Very cool. That's very cool. Oh, pouring Go. We're not using Go for this stuff. What do I use Go for? IPFS stuff? I keep wanting to build an app on top of IPFS. I know that there are a couple of cool libs out there that you can use here. Are we IPFS yet? IPFS could be a really neat way to distribute content instead of using like a CDN for like game assets and stuff like that.
First time met you, I hope you stay in town. Pretty hair, pretty eyes, wish you were by my side. You are
They're doing pretty good. 9 of 9 tests passing. Yes, and it's orange. Wonder why it's orange. Oh, it's partial implementation. Got it. All right. Back to the code. Ooh, Erlang 23.2. Oh, lovely. All right, so that finished. Look, update, give it an upgrade. Make sure we got everything good there. It's good. Updated, great. I'm gonna go ahead and restart COC. I mean, it should, no, let's see what it does. Let's see what it does. All right, now after considering what should have happened, it's inside of Line Builder. Where's Line Builder? Oh, we're in Line Builder. That's the test. But we have this partial thing. And the line iterator is trying to deal with the partial piece, right? So if you have a line that's too long for the space that you're giving, so for in this case, if your word is too long for the width given, then what do you do? In some cases, you need to just split it, because there's no other way, right? Just cut it up. Session-wide spans. That could be interesting. All right, but I think what I needed is yet another layer of indirection. So I'm going to remove partial from this data structure and have the next iterator. I'm going to just wrap this iterator so that it can implement this. Let's get rid of partial. Default line iterator. That's gone. Goodbye, partial. We're going to get rid of this single line glyph bit. Is our iterator that we're going to wrap our iterator in. It's going to deal with that for it. Okay. Yep, just getting rid of some of this stuff. Good. Does it just run forever? Are we looping infinitely? Probably. Oh yeah, because of this case here. And that's what we're going to fix. Yeah. Let's toss all of those on there. we need a partial iterator. Something that can look to see, something that can know how much space you have left. Or rather, maybe it is just a max line iterator. Like given the maximum size that something could be, we split it up. I do not really want to give it the current width. I don't want it to have to track how wide everything is. Just the max width. We should just be able to create this for this one edge case. All right, new iterator. Word split iterator. Split word iterator. Naming things is so hard. I mean, split word seems like it's going to be too generic. So I'm trying to come up with something that's a little bit more specific. What are we trying to do? We are trying to have an iterator that will split a word based on the max width. Max width splitter, subdivider, cleaver. Yeah, we can rename it later. We probably will. Wrap at. Ooh. That's a good one. That's good. It's actually that's on stir already. Oh no, they have split at. Split at. I like wrap at. Wrap at's good. Alright, well, we'll rename this file later. Obstruct. Wrap at. Good morning, Sarcastic Dante. Hey, a couple streams ago, you had mentioned a crate that would help with kanji and splitting kanji at the right place. Do you happen to have that crate? I didn't get it captured. There we go. thank you. Nice. Thank you. I'm gonna go ahead and follow that. Then back to the code. My machine is really dragging. Don't know why. OBS, crisp, sure. Chrome, Firefox, pretzel. I think it was Chrome. Killed off Chrome and things. We'll see. All right, now to implement the iterator here. So when we create a wrap at, we need a couple of things. We need to know what the other iterator is that we are wrapping, because we're going to be an iterator that wraps an iterator and occasionally provides sub-portions of strings, or portions of strings. We'll need lifetimes for this. Okay, so we'll have our item equals token. We will also have our partial, which is option to a token. We'll have max width. What else? Let's import some of these. Now for our lifetime. Oh, interesting. Get a little bug there. We will be returning tokens, and in this case, our to-dos. We'll get to that to-do in a bit. Let's create the constructor. I think I probably have to restart NeoVim to fix those templates. We will not take the partial. Partial will start as none. Iterator followed by max width. I think I prefer it the other way around. Put on the comma. There we go. All right. Now let's wire that in. We'll go back to line builder. Of our test. Who makes line builder? This guy, the default line builder, makes it. Now this is given. This I do not want this to know about wrap at. So wherever this line builder is created, we'll have to wrap it there. I think that's in wrap, word wrap. Here. Tokens, there needs to be wrapped. Let max width tokens equals. Max width and tokens. This needs to be mutable, doesn't it? We could just take ownership of that, couldn't we? But there's no sense in not taking it, because we'll have exclusive ownership. Unless we were going to give up ownership and then, or our exclusive borrow. But I doubt that's going to happen. But if we were to do that, we would need to take a specific client. So either we make this generic, which we could do. Okay, let's do that. Oh, you solved your legal instruction issue. What was it? Just wrap that. So instead of this lifetime, we're going to take a type. Where T is an iterator of item equals token. Technically, we do not need that here on this level. This just needs to be T, but we'll need this at the implementation. Not that one, this one. So technically, this doesn't need to know what T is. It seems panic during drop caused it. Oh, interesting. You think it's a Rust bug? Funny. I think I prefer to have this on the new function as well, just because for the case where you toss something in there that's not an iterator, and then you discover some really complicated error. If it's on the new, it's going to show up really, really well. If you call next on it or try to pass it to something else and then it says, hey, this isn't an iterator, you have to know enough to say, why isn't this an iterator? And to be able to understand these guards. While this here isn't needed, I think it's beneficial. Alright, so that's saved. Let's go back to word wrap. Wrap at isn't scope. Let's import it. Going to give it ownership of tokens, and we will pass max width tokens in there. Ah. Oh, it wants it boxed? Ah, yes. Because we don't have GATs yet, it's boxed. We could box it. Or can we make that generic? I think technically this... So when we get down to line builder, default line builder, that's fine. We call build. We have a peekable, yada yada. Yeah, we don't need a box on that. Even though there is one. Oh. Hey, let's take a peek. Expected behavior, huh? Oh. I see. And what happens if we get rid of the F? Then the other one should drop immediately. Yeah. Oh, I see. In your case, it was a little bit obscured because tests capture the output of HTTP test, which is where it panicked. Ah, gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. That makes sense. Let's change builder, or line builder. Instead, I mean, we already have the lifetimes in here. It's a mutable iterator. Well, exclusive iterator. That lives for A. Alright, now let's make the rest of this match. Default line iterator. One too many. Oh, if you scroll down, you see a legal instruction. Oh, interesting. I see. Wow. Hey, welcome, Raiders. We are currently working on a word wrap that will be used inside of our game. So today, morning Chantilly cake. We're working on a portion of our psychological thriller audio-based game. see. Got a number of commands. Brooke and I do tend to raid each other occasionally. So if you're new here, we're doing Rust with Godot. Today is more of a Rust day. So down in the depths of the game, which sadly I do not have running at the moment due to the crate not compiling. I could probably fix a bit later, but we're really trying to get the word wrap working. There is a fantastic word wrap crate, but it only works with fixed width characters, and I want to use variable width characters. So we're making a variable width text wrap crate. Oh, I'm going to restart. Ever since I updated Conquer of Completion and Rust Analyzer, it's been a little off. We're going to load it up again. So here you have provided some sort of TrueType font with a TrueType font parser. And thank you, Brooke. Hope you had a good stream. Happy Monday. Create a set of options and then start to wrap the text. So in this case, we're expecting output like so. We've got a number of tests sprinkled about, and while we're not working on one at the moment, or on this one at the moment, we are working on one of the others. But this gives you kind of a high-level idea of what the crate is kind of going to look like. So there we go. Now we have some better errors. Oh, cannot borrow it as mutable. That's true. That, and we need the other word wrapper here. Hold on, where's word wrap? I want to use the same terminology. We called it max width tokens. There. It's going to take ownership over the tokens and provide max width tokens, which is another iterator that we are going to build out. Okay. That should work. And this one here. Ah, yes. That's right. That's why it was boxed before. So we take ownership of that. And still, we were using dynamic dispatch. No. Fine. All right. I don't know. Oh, all right. We're gonna take that. How do I stage a line? Oh, there's add hunk, revert hunk. Oh well. Because I messed up. Alright. Going back to the editor. This needs to be boxed. dyne iterator plus that lifetime. Oh, lifetime. Default line iterator is defined right here. And that needs to be boxed. That should be about it for fixing that change. Missed one. Here. And the other test. It just needs to be boxed. So we'll box it. This is the first time I've used so much boxing. Normally I just go entirely with generics. But I wanted to try boxing. And I think in this case it does provide a little bit more flexibility than the generics would. That's hard to say. It's easy to say, it's hard to prove. We'll have to see. Because I think if somebody were to try to use this, they would set up their options, and that's pretty much all they would need to set up if they wanted to override things. And I think that would be clear and easy to understand. All right, this should panic or loop forever. One or the other. Okay. So given our new line builder, let's go back to our wrap at function. All right. This one should be fairly straightforward. Basically, we will look to see if the width of a token is longer than the maximum width. Ooh, sadly, we need to know what the token widths are. I don't really want to measure token widths twice. Maybe we'll create some other, why not just iterators all the way down? Here's our token. We could create another one, like token width. Have a token width iterator that measures tokens and adds width. That's not a terrible idea. One of the first things that we do in here is measure the tokens. Yeah, let's do that. Let's wrap this token stream one more time. I have a feeling that this is like that kind of prototype that will end up looking like something else eventually. Probably decide to do iterators all the way down, and then this will get cleaned up quite a bit. Okay. That, and we would probably take ownership of iterators. We'll probably still need to box them due to the... we'll see. We'll see. All right. Token width. Oh, let's import that. Let's see. The other thing that we need is a token width iterator. Now we might be able to use just a simple map for this. Yeah, why are we not using standard iter tools? Standard iter has a number of tools for this. I mean, just calling map on something would give us a new type. Do they have one that keeps some state? Flat map, filter map. No, okay. So with the token iterator, I do not think that we actually need to implement something called token iterator, although we could. Or token width iterator. We could create a trait and implement that. Pub trait with token width. Something like this. Function. Consumes self and provides Well, in this case, we could provide a token width iterator. Because we would also need this to provide. Let's say this is only available on things where self implements iterator of item equals token. When you say with width, you also have to give it the font size or something that can know how big something is. How did we set that up? Okay, let's finish. So we have something here on face. Okay. Got that on the wrong side. There we go. I keep doing that with face. I don't know why. I expect it to be something that I have a borrow on, but it itself is borrowing something. So it's clonable. It's a reference. Okay. Test module, test. So we're going to need a token stream to test this out. And we didn't implement the iterator yet for token width iterator. Let's come back to line builder. Sadly, we need all of this to set it up. That needs to be simplified. Gotta stop stressing before deadline and start working. Let's. So, Uber Mishka, do you know how to eat an elephant? One bite at a time. There's going to be deadlines in the future. You've had deadlines in the past. This is nothing new. It's just a date, like any other date. It's nothing special. That was Enacron. Oh, Xenocron's just being goofy. Yeah, he's not serious about that. Can I do it this way? Items, okay. Items from trades can only be used if the trade implementation is implemented and in scope. It is because we have super here. It seems like this is not going to work. Because the iterator, well, the thing that we want to use it on is a it's a box. I mean, shouldn't this work with a boxed iterator? Oh, consider further restricting self. That's right, and we also need the other iterator. And it's static. I don't know that I like this. So how would somebody, let's say from iterator, how does from iterator work? Let's click on this. Great. It takes an A, sized. Or it's also sized. I did not do that. Hub trait. And that's exactly what it's complaining about on self. That makes more sense. Can we make this generic? Okay, we need to constrain the T when we do the iterator part. Okay. So all we're going to do is call next, if it exists, on our iterator, self.iter.next, question mark. Tokens are going to be equal to that. We need to measure the token and produce token width item. Do some token width. Okay. Now, how did we? I thought we had something for measuring dimensions. Token dimensions. We do have token. Ah, we could have taken one of these instead. Something that has token dimensions. All right. So instead of the font face, we're going to take something that implements token dimensions. Or rather, something that implements that, because that was a trait, wasn't it? All right, this is going to fall flat in just a moment. T. Token dimensions should be of type T, where T is token dimensions. Now, token dimensions had a lifetime on it, didn't it? Doesn't. I wonder how this is going to play together. Tommy Luco, good morning and happy Monday. Oh, these are both the same type. We'll call this one U. Did I ever move? I didn't. I have yet to buy the hardware. Oh, interesting. I didn't think that Rust was weak on BSD. I mean, it might not be one of their prime targets. I forget what they call them. Their phase 1 targets. They're tier 1 targets. Yeah, that's expected. Oh, NetBSD is a tier 2 target. 64-bit FreeBSD is tier 2. This is tier 2. Yeah, it's in there a couple times, and then also in tier 3 for ARM. Ooh, and they have 64-bit 6 Dragonfly. I would love to run Dragonfly. With 2 check boxes, check marks. What does that mean? Standard and host. Okay. I mean, Dragonfly is not that far off from the others. But Dragonfly is awesome. They basically rebuilt the kernel, removing a bunch of the locks. A lot of brilliant work in this. Swap cache. Yeah. Scheduler abstraction is split into 2 layers. 2! Not just one. They did some cool stuff. Anyhow, back to the code. Oh, the official build tracker for Rust. Oh, thank you, Final Spartan. Look at that. Anyhow, 2.5, tier 2.5. These are things that are between tier 2 and tier 3. That's funny. PowerPC and Spark, wow. Where's the other FreeBSD? Oh, there it is. Interesting. Rust format's missing? I wonder why. It's funny. Alright. I like the idea of this being just a set of iterators from like top to bottom. and just being able to figure out how to route them if you want to inject things at certain places in the stack. Because if we did that, we could probably make this fully generic. Here, let's finish with this one. Token iterator. Expected to found 1. Self and T for token dimensions. And in this case, our T becomes a U. It already had a T. It's interesting because now it doesn't have a lifetime, even though U might actually need the lifetime. I was curious about this. If something implements this, oh, this is too. No. There. It's a little too much. Token dimensions. That seems like it's okay, but our TTF parser dimensions, which implements it, has a lifetime. I want to see how this all fits together. That's funny too, Tommy. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I've seen the muscle ones. Did they was blocking some arm builds because most of them were alpine muscle. I see. All right, playing with lifetimes. Does this even need a lifetime anymore? It doesn't. Okay. You gotta go? All right, take care, Tommy. Now, what are we doing here? We've got our iterator. We're going to get the width for this thing. Oh, I said text. I should have been a next. Next. Next token. Unreachable statement. Yes, we get that. Self dot token dimensions dot width. Oh, we need the text. We need the actual text. Grumble, grumble. Okay. Yeah, this is something that I've gone back and forth on. Whether or not the tokens should have a reference to the thing that they're actually pointing to. And I opted to not have that because it meant that I would have a lifetime basically feeding through all of this stuff. Instead of just saying, okay, we're going from this start to that end. But it does mean that I keep having to feed this text into other places, like here.
Just listen. That's the way computers talk to each other.
And now we're going to have to need that. We're going to need that lifetime. I don't know if it's actually saving that much. The lifetimes come from other places. I'm gonna give it some fake test. Fix me. We'll give it the token. And we have a token with. We're not returning. Not like so. Just call this with. Okay. Oh, and I put a semicolon at the end. Shame on me. There we go. That compiles, but I'm going to stash this for a moment, or stage it. Then I want to go back to exploring what token would look like if token also pointed to this pub text. Yes, you can. Like if you have an option, wrapping a result, or vice versa, or both of the same, result, etc. Yeah, the try operator is just an early return. It checks to see, is this a none? Right? It's like an unwrap plus a return. Or result, is this an error? If so, return. Otherwise, I give you the OK variant. All right, now this is going to mess up everything. Everything. It looks awful. I don't disagree. I don't know. Sometimes this sort of hard sine wave thing, like it's not a sine wave, it's more of a square wave. This one, I like this song, but it's a little, I don't know. We'll see. And what if this didn't take a box? If it didn't take a box, we couldn't do it because we're using this as an object type. We did this. We return a reference to a dynamic iterator, then this thing isn't owned. We did iterator or dyn iterator here and gave it, where's the static? Just a couple issues. Yeah, that one lifetime adds a lot. All right, let's do this in stages. Okay. So where in the stack are we actually creating the tokens? Let's start there. See, and here we're passing text in along with tokens. Doing the same thing again. Ooh, Godbolt. Nice. How many iterations? Um, 0. I think there's 0 iterations. I think it unrolls this far, and well, not unroll into generated code, but I think it can analyze this far. Oh yeah, 16. Oh, but so I see what you're saying though. This is supposed to loop while this is not 0. But it's not. Wow. Why doesn't it iterate more? I mean, there's side effects. You should see that there's side effects. Wow. I mean, what am I missing here? So while the number is greater than that, greater than 0, iterate. Number starts out at 16, we subtract it. Trigraphs, yes. Yes, I've heard of trigraphs. Oh, interesting. The stepwise is larger. And it's larger in release mode as well? There is quite a difference between release and debug. Alright, Sarcastic Dante. What's going on here? Why don't we see a whole bunch of these outputs? I'm gonna pour some tea. Hope you all had a good weekend. How was your weekend? There we go. All right. Wait. Saranya, good morning. All right, Sarcastic Dante. What do I miss here? Okay, this one iterates. This one. They look the same. Other than the add at the top. I'm not saying it. Wait, what? Oh my goodness. This slash here. Wow. I see. Ah, okay. All right. Enough of that. I see. It's commenting out the for loop part of the next block, or the for loop, and just leaving its block. You win this time. Alright, so we tend to start, it looks like with the tokenizer. We'll tokenize. Give the string. Then we come down, so let's check the tokenizer. Everything. Here's our white space tokenizer. Alright, what did one hat say to another hat? You stay here, I'll go on ahead. Da-dun-sh. Oh yeah, there it is, there it is. Now we need a lifetime on our tokens. And the token needs the text. Do we not have text here? Oh, that's right. We ended up getting rid of that. So we have our white space iterator new text. So that takes the chars. Text is equal to self.text. Oh, this could actually make this easier to test. All right. Okay, we're going to come back to the tests here, I think. Because given that, what we could do on the token is now we could actually impl this, say like as stir, and then it would give you the range. Impl for token. Okay. Self.text, self.range, start, self.range, end. and we have to borrow that so it has the same lifetime as self, etc. So now at this point, instead of just calling next, because some of these actually get really long, probably condense this. Words is going to be iter clone select. Oh, do we not have a... There we go. Oops. White space tokenizer. Back down to the tests. There. We'll map it. Token key dot as star. Oh, sure, we'll take a look. Funnel Spartan. It doesn't fit on screen very well. You can kind of see in these the margins there. Yeah, it's not too big. You're right. Oh, I see. This is such a neat tool. It really is. Just a fantastic tool. Oh, I missed the rest of the optimization levels there. Opt-C. That's interesting. Is that how you specify this? Like, you can't say dash dash release, right? Like that doesn't work. Yeah. Yeah, you can see in the margin there that it is much smaller. And I wonder what this one would be. So instead of the 4i, what if we instead used the 0.n? We just collected on that. Step by 2. And then sum. Arguably, you could just return that. Busy. What is the other one? Dash for size. Let's say you wanted to have. Never mind. Wonder if it's the range. Step by. All right. Holy cow. You can afford to tell over 700 bad jokes. Wow. Here we go. Brace yourselves. I don't even have 700. For all the ones that have been collected? Okay. See, I think that test reads a lot better, even though it's doing a bit more. And then we get to do the same thing with the kinds. Guess this is really token kind. I mean, that reads a lot better. What do the C programs do while running? They sprint F. Oh, it makes your prime factorization 14% slower. Well, I wonder why. Like, why is the step by that much slower? Huh. I mean, really, I wanted to see the code here. I wanted to be able to click the source on the right. It's not there. All right. We gotta capture these. Oh, you're not in the list yet, Sarcastic Dante. Let me add you to the list. Between Pink Fluffy Llama and Shurshack 55. All right, nailed one. Yeah, I've been collecting these jokes. Eventually, we're going to have Capitan tell jokes. All right. I love this one. What is a group of mutexes called? A deadlock. Then I like the that one knock knock joke, the programmer knock knock joke. Goes knock knock, race condition. And then they say who's there. It's really great to be able to tell whether or not somebody is a programmer or not very quickly, or to see where they are in their programming. I wonder, does range have any optimizations? Or anything that you could use instead? 'Cause I know you could use iterator, but can you define a range that skips? Doesn't look like it. Oh, please do, yeah. All right. All right, I'm gonna just clean some stuff up here for a couple minutes. I like the new setup here a lot better. Like here, I'm just looking to figure out, well, what does this mean? Can I see that it's correct? I can't. In this case, we're going to /r/n. This is so much more readable. And then the token kinds. And that's just going to be new line required, new line. So much easier. What's the text here? It's 2 spaces, a new line, and then a space. Whoa, that's too far. Oh, my keyboard is just... Come on. Oh, it is so lagged out. Why is my keyboard lagging out? It's my machine? No, it's okay. Oh, Synergy stopped working. Connection to the server timed out. Dun dun dun. Why? Alright, let me fix that. That's unexpected. Synergy. Stop it. Address already in use. Fine. Alright, PS, AUX, grep, or RG, Synergy. There we go. Okay, it's back. I was having issues. Alright, we're back. Oh, so much better. Optional. New line. Optional. Oh, it feels like bike shedding. And this is so much better than like the one you see below, which I'll see very shortly. And in this case, we have at new line / n something something. Alright, now in this case, we have at space. Miracle of sound, there it is. Alright, so that's that piece. Now here, get rid of all of this. Wow, so much easier. Required, optional. Required. New line. No, don't do that. Not null error. Should be new line. Optional. New line, optional, required, optional, and then required. There we go. That is such an easier, that's so much easier to manage. Trying to count out those spans before was just a mess. Okay. Checker. What do we got missing? So we've got this layer, the white space tokenizer. What comes next? Line builder or token width? Let's say token width. Ah, yes. Now this needs a lifetime. Now this one here, the token with iterator, this one does need a lifetime. And I haven't figured out why token dimensions doesn't need a lifetime, because it has a font face in it. Yeah. Line builder, yes, my friend, the line builder. And this token has the same lifetime as the text. So that's the same as that, good. See, this is obviously more than 2 errors, but this only lists 2. Well, it must be only 2 that are not in tests. What do we have here? Line builder. Default line iterator needs this now. Ah, it already has the same lifetime. Perfect. Why does it think that it needs to be static here? Here. Alright, now the ones in the tests. Or not. Ooh, interesting. So now our options, this glyph dimensions. Yeah, this is what I was talking about earlier, how glyph dimensions didn't take a lifetime, even though it needed to have a lifetime. This glyph dimensions, this token dimensions, needs to know what the lifetime is of the font face here. How do we wire that up? It feels like the next step is to remove some of the box stuff and just go with a stack of iterators. Basically, you build it up before you call wrap. Or iterators are the entirety of the wrapping. That's a neat idea. Just having word wrap be a series of iterators that are strung together. Okay, what else do we have other than that? Ah, wrap at. Same thing here. All right, now in white space, tokenized white space, cannot return a value referencing function parameter t. It returns a value referencing a data owned by the current function. To extract this into a variable so that it has the same lifetime. Morning. Very burst. How are you? So I am using Zeesh. I'm also using Starship. I also happen to be inside of Tmux. And thanks to Xenocron, we have this commands thing, which can help get some of this. The theme I'm using is called Challenger Deep. Been using it for a very long time now. Can I declare a lifetime like this? Cannot return value referencing function parameter t. Let's look at the larger error. Check should work. Good. That should fail. T.as stir. Oh, interesting. When it's right. See, there's a token. This is a local. Well, we're doing this for as long as t lives. I mean, we didn't. Twice vis iterator. Does t go away? Does a token vanish? Maybe we should rename that. We do have toStir and toString. What about essentially we just want the slices into this word. I mean, we could convert it. We just say, oh, you know what? This is that. And we could actually do like take it into string. Actually convert it to strings. It'd be useful for the tests. Is there a trait for this? Let's say we had stir. Or primitive type. We could implement toString for it. The other, we could implement display for it. Actually, let's just implement display. So implementing display would be a little better. Then we could get the toString as well. I think if you have display, then you also have toString. Oh, you're welcome, Furry Burst. think that's standard format display. My keyboard's gone haywire again. Let me see if I can restart that. Okay. Rebooted the other end of Synergy. Now in this case, we need to do right to F. That. Does F or F dot? Right stir. Now we could do this instead. Remove the semicolon. See a parenthesis. There. There we go. Okay, 3 instances there. To a string. Go back to the beginning. Change all 3 at the same time. I mean, I'm surprised. Okay. So now that we have the stir, the reference to the string that the token represents on the token, we'd stage that. Okay. I think we can avoid passing that stir down in some places. So we're going to go to the top level, look at one of the tests here. So yes, we pass the font phase down and in. But where do we pass in the text? So here, when we call wrap, the text is passed in. Let's follow the text all the way down. So if we say tokenizer.tokenize, get the tokenizer out of the options. So we have it there in the tokenizer, but then also in the line builder. We don't need it in the line builder anymore, because it should be on the tokens. Yeah, because this glyph dimensions. Let's change this glyph dimensions. So tokens know what their size is now. So token dimensions, we just call glyph. Ah, that needs. I mean, that needs a lifetime, but it's not the same lifetime. We're not using the lifetime. Well, we are on the A. Basically, we're just saying it's a different lifetime than the one on self. Lifetimes A is already in scope. Okay. Let's pretend that this is A. And this is B. Not X, B. That's going to tell us to... Oh, this is right. We do not have... We don't have the text anymore. Okay, let's actually fix the other programmatic error now. And now we have token.text. We'll get the chars for that. Oh, it's shadowing because we have one up here. That's right. Expected function pointer function TTF parser dimensions lifetime A token lifetime A. Found exactly the same thing. And the reason that we have this thing at all is so that we could swap out the TTF parser, excuse me, the font face from the TTF parser and the font face from something else. But maybe we could get rid of this and just use that other iterator because it would have an instance of this. It feels like we have two different layers of indirection pointing in two different directions. Because if we didn't have this glyph dimensions here, we do something else with it. So where is that? That's in... starting to lose track. Where is that used? Token width. Because this is essentially the same thing. And it seems like the token width iterator is the only one that should take something That does token dimensions. Okay. So for TTF parser dimensions, we do need this lifetime on font face. And where we implement it, should be able to get the width. Is it a different lifetime? These look exactly the same. All right, let's run the other compiler. We'll cargo check here. Hopefully it'll help. Hidden lifetimes are deprecated. Good point. Good point. Now token dimensions might need a lifetime. Then I'm thinking about getting rid of options builder. All right, my Raspberry Pi is actually it's running hot. Why? Because of Chrome? Hey. All right, kill that. Wow, just having the stream management console open for Twitch put my Raspberry Pi at factor of 2 load. 200% CPU usage. Now it's dropping quickly. Oh, well, that's much better. Okay. Oh, the A is on the wrong spot. Let's fix it in the trait. Then we can add it here. We need it for the tokens. But now it feels like we have two different ones. Need one for the tokens. And one for the TTF parser. Okay. Now A is for the tokens. Okay, that looks like we got it the right way. Now to line builder. Glyph dimensions, yes. Up to the top. line builder. Something that implements token dimensions should have the same lifetime as the tokens, which is A in this case. Oh yes, we do not need self.text anymore here. Good. Now this token dimensions no longer needs text. It just needs to know how to size them because they will know. A is the same size, good. Same lifetime. Yes, and we didn't get to the point where... So we should just be able to give it the token and get the width back. Oh, lovely. Okay. So simple. Now, token dimensions needs lifetime A for font face. Or, excuse me, for the tokens. Why wouldn't this be on width instead? Because here we have A and B. What if we had A be on... I know, we changed this just a moment ago, but I want to revisit it. Okay. TTF parser dimensions needs it. Two different A's there. Those are not the same lifetime. This one is the same for TTF parser dimensions. Now in this case, token dimensions does not need a lifetime, so we can get rid of A. And in fact, we're going to get rid of B in this case. A there. And we'll use B here for the token. That, I think, is a little more accurate. Okay. Because we have to come back in here and fix some of these for the token width because it's not needed any longer. For token dimensions. Why is this complaining? Oh, I didn't save the file. There we go. All right, let's go to check, cargo test. Good. Stage those. All right. Next one. I know we're just doing some refactoring at the moment. Cleaning up some lifetimes and stuff. Now, line builder has text. Why does line builder need text? My cursor is gone. Oh, that's so funny. Fine. Now we have a cursor. Yay. All right, so we're passing in the text to the wrap function. And then text here. It's in two places, and I do not think that we need it in line builder. Line builder can get rid of it. And the default line iterator doesn't need it. Like, why does the line iterator need this glyph dimensions? That feels weird. That should be in some other iterator. That's what we were splitting out when we first started this. All right, no longer self that text. All right. Cargo test. Good. Let's go ahead and stage those real quick. All right. Now, glyph dimensions. We're going to change this so that we had the glyph dimensions, so that this becomes less of just one loop in some function somewhere, and change that into a series of nested iterators. So we have our tokenizer, which creates the tokens, and then we're going to create. Just highlighted that. Okay. My network is still a little funky. I don't know why. I keep losing mouse control. I don't think this box is overly taxed. It's seen this before. It knows what this is. All right, let's just keep going. See, did it again. It's been so good lately. So good. I gotta reboot the Pi. That makes me sad. It's been up for only a day? Doesn't seem right. Anyhow, let's see if we can just forge ahead. So we have our tokenizer. And we are going to have our sized tokens. What? Tokens with. With. Oh, hidden lifetime. It should be that lifetime. This one doesn't need a lifetime. What's it talking about? Ah, I was on mute. Explicit lifetime required for the type of glyph dimensions. Lifetime A required. And if we look at options builder, A is required there. Which means that we need it here. There we go. All right, but this with width is not found. Why can't it find this? Live. Token width. Okay, so we do have it compiling. What? With token width defines an item with width. Perhaps you need to implement it. Oh, I see. It's just saying it's pointing at the two places. How can we relax it? Because if we did box, that would work. And if it's a boxed iterator, box, dine, blah, that should work. Oh, no, no, no. That's right, because you can't do that. Basically want to consume self here. It's not coming to me. Let's look at box for a moment. Oh, my mouse is killing me. See, it implements deref. Well, we've made some progress. I'm just not content with my keyboard at the moment. I think I need to reboot some stuff, sadly. Might be the box I'm using that wants to reboot. And they should be connecting to the same Wi-Fi. Oh, you know what? I think the Raspberry Pi is connected to the wrong mesh endpoint. It's actually doing a long loop. Let me check something. If I can fix this, we might get another 30 minutes. Client details. Now it's connecting to the right one. And this? Yeah, they're connecting to the same access point. No idea. Alright, y'all. That's gonna drive me nuts, so I'm gonna raid somebody. Let's see. Ah! Alzo's doing Rust again. So Tanzo's a bit of a beginner. We're gonna raid Tanzo. So if you know Rust and can help Tanzo out, please do. Oh, thank you, JB Pratt. Yes, and you have a wonderful Monday as well. And to all y'all, happy Monday. And thank you for that link again, Sarcastic Dante. I think one of the first things I want to do before this hitting 1.0 is try to get it word wrap working in with Kanji also. Huh. The little raid thing. Oh, there it is. Did come up. All right, y'all. Take care. Bye bye.